This is a huge question. What happens to my cash value when I die? On this case study, we're looking at a 40-year-old investor putting $20,000 a year into a properly structured high cash value whole life policy. And his question, along with many others, is what happens to my cash value when I die? Does the insurance company keep my cash value? This is a big myth. We're going to dispel that myth today and look at a properly structured policy and exactly what happens to your cash value and your death benefit when you die. Here's our 40-year-old Mel in preferred plus good health. And what we want to break down is the difference between base whole life insurance, the term insurance, and the paid up additions rider. The paid up additions rider that's growing cash value more rapidly. This is a properly structured policy. In a properly structured policy, we want to minimize the amount of whole life insurance. This is called the base face amount. And in this case, the base face amount is $201,000. So all he's purchasing is $201,000 of whole life insurance. He's getting a rider, which is a term insurance rider, for $201,000 as well. That term insurance rider eventually is going to drop off. So what we want to focus on is him paying for the $201,000 of whole life insurance. We're going to go through several different ages throughout his lifetime so you can see what's happening. We will be looking at the non-guaranteed values. These are more accurate because these values include the dividend. The companies we work with, they are the top mutual insurance companies in the industry. They've all paid dividends for over 100 years, some for over 150 years. In year one, when his $20,000 premium goes in, his available cash value is $14,940, and his first year death benefit is $446. Remember, he only paid for $201,000 of actual whole life insurance. If he passes away in year one with putting in the $20,000, his family would get paid the $446,000 death benefit. If we add together the $201,531 of whole life death benefit plus the cash value that year of $14,940, that equals $216,000. But his heirs would get $446,000 of tax-free death benefit. If he passes away at the age of 50, his death benefit is now $874,000. If we add together again the $201,000 of whole life coverage that he purchased, plus his cash value here of $228,774, his family would get more than double that, which is the $874,000 of death benefit. What we hear often from the financial entertainers is never buy a whole life insurance policy because the life insurance company will keep your cash value upon your death. That is not true. In a traditional old-style whole life policy, it is true that the death benefit may not grow as large, but what we're looking at here is a properly structured whole life policy with a paid-up additions rider. PUA is turbocharging the cash value growth more rapidly, and that cash value is funding the death benefit. In other words, PUA is not only growing more cash value, it's also growing death benefit. If he passes away at the age of 60, you'll notice the cash value this year is $625,000. If we add the $201,000 of whole life death benefit he purchased to the cash value of $625,728, that would equal $827,000. What would his family actually get? They would get $1,395,000 in death benefit. At the age of 66, he is no longer putting any more premium into the policy. The premium outlay is zero. He funded $20,000 a year through the age of 65. And you'll notice here in the right-hand column under death benefit, his death benefit continues to grow even though he's not paying any additional premium. This is called a premium offset. His minimum premium of $3,890 is being paid by the dividend. And because the dividend that year is $28,000, he's not only getting death benefit growth, he's also getting cash value growth. And you see that here in this column. If he passes away at the age of 70, his cash value is $1,172,000. If we add that together with the $201,000 of whole life coverage that he purchased, That would total $1,373,000. But his death benefit at the age of 70 is $1,867,000. $500,000 more would be going to his beneficiaries. If he passes away at the age of 85, cash value is $2,412,000, which, by the way, he only put $500,000 of premium into the policy. If we add the $2,412,000 to the original $201,531 of whole life death benefit he purchased, the total is $2.6 million. What would his heirs and beneficiaries actually get? They would get $2.86 million. So Steve, as you can see here, in a properly structured high cash value whole life policy, the myth that the insurance company keeps your cash value when you die is not true. It is in fact a myth. His family, whether he passes away in year 1, year 10, year 20, 30, 40, here at the age of 85, and we could keep doing this, his family will get more because it's a properly structured whole life policy with a growing death benefit. We've dispelled the myth that the life insurance company keeps your cash value. That's not true. We invite you to look at your own numbers, see the power of a properly structured high cash value policy in your portfolio, guaranteed growth, access to liquid cash, tax-free use of money, and a permanent death benefit that will go to your heirs tax-free.